So with the weather finally improving, we've got out on the bank today and I'm going to do a little video just focusing on 4 products within the Matrix range that I think have made a massive difference to my fishing since joining Matrix a couple of years ago. Right, so first up, I'm going to go a bit weird. I'm not going to go fishing equipment, I'm going to go hook length storage. And if I use the technical name to keep the boss happy, the HLR rig cases or the hook length boxes. I mean, nice and simple, just an easy product to talk about to start with. And I'm very, very lucky in that what I do, so I've been with a few different companies, but also with my coaching, I get to see a massive, massive amount of different products on the bank. And hook length boxes for me, there's very few that have been close to perfect. Yeah, they all have the faults for various reasons. And without a doubt, the Matrix ones for me fit the gap as getting as close to perfect as they could possibly be for my commercial needs. I mean, for keeping things nice and simple and ultimately looking after my hooks. So if I have a little nose, is that there were 2 key points that I'm after with them. Firstly is the amount of hooks that I can fit in them. Yeah, they have more storage than any other boxes available of this sort of size. I mean, without going weird, in that I've got 20 pins, I've got 10 pins each side with an option of 4-inch or 6-inch. So everything pretty much that I need within my commercial fishing, but I can fit a hell of a lot of hooks in one box. So instead of taking 30 boxes, I can just fit them into a nice simple 10 just to provide every hook that I need. But also, it's the pins. Yeah, that is without a doubt the key problem that I see in most of the hook length boxes is that the pins break on them. They have issues with the pins bending, the pins snapping that are stored in the hook lengths. And ultimately you open your hook length box and you end up with a ball of hook lengths that you've spent who knows how long tying. And for me, there is nothing more annoying that winds me up more than opening my hook box to find a pile of hook lengths that I've spent an hour tying at home. So with the Matrix ones, it does not happen. They've got the solid, what we're going to call them, like triangular type pins that are pretty much unbreakable. I mean, they will never snap, no matter how much sun gets on them, how much pressure's on them after you pile all them hook lengths up. They do the job, they stay where they are, and they look after me hook lengths. So the amount of time I spend tying these hooks, making them all sexy, the last thing I want is my storage device to let them down. I said these do the job, they don't let any water in, and they look after me hooks, which is, I mean, I can't really ask for more than that. So they've got a few different options. So for me, the nice little small boxes, what we're going to call them, the 6-inch boxes, they do most of my fishing. But there's also the longer options, depending what you like doing yourself. For me, there's 2 options with the longer boxes. There's either the pin box that's got pins the same as the smaller one, or you've got the EVA spool option. And I'm never a fan of longer hook lengths, of just having fixed 12-inch hook lengths. So instead, I'd rather tie them great big 3-foot ones. So for me, the EVA spools are so much better for storing great big silly hook lengths that I can chop down on the day. And say for all my Waggler fishing, my feeder fishing, my bomb fishing. So that one box, again, houses a massive, massive amount. How many we want? 6, 12, 18, 20, 24 spools of a hell of a lot of different hook lengths that cover everything I'm going to need for commercial. So a nice little product, simple, no faffing about, but does the job I require it to do. With the hook lengths all done, next thing I move on to is sort of a luggage option. Both of them sort of focus on looking after me bait. So depending on the weather conditions, what's going on. The first would be my side tray, or me covered side tray as I want to call it, which this lives in my van for a lot of the time, but comes out when I don't want to use my umbrella when it's raining. So in the summer, when I don't mind getting a bit wet, when it's not going to make me cold and miserable, I'm happy to get wet and use this to look after me bait. It's a nice simple product. I whack it on the side of my side tray and it looks after me gear without it getting soaking wet when it's pouring down. Just by opening the lid, I can sneak my hand under there and I can grab whatever I need to with a load of big boxes that can fit any amount of bait that I require. So nothing fancy, just something that looks after my bait on them nasty days when, I mean, I don't want that brolly above my head. I hate using a brolly when I don't have to. But anyway, with that done, while on the subject of luggage, I say that the next problem that you're going to have is on your red hot sticky horrible days. And for that, the cooler bag, it just looks after everything, keeps me bait in the best possible condition that I want it to be in. I mean, I've been very, very lazy over the years in just bodging it, chucking my bait in a bucket, in a bag, whatever else. And when using maggots, casters and worms, I mean, the last thing I want to be doing is taking a gallon of whatever with me, leaving it in my bag because I'm not using it because of the peg I've drawn, and losing all of that bait because I've, if anything, just been lazy and put it in the wrong sort of storage device. I mean, a great big cooler bag does the job. It gives me loads and loads and loads of space to fit 10 ton of bait in there if required. I can whack a cooler block in there, and there's a technical bit with the colour that you've got it reflects all the sun and just stops your bait getting sweaty and nasty. So it's just another way of looking after my bait, but getting it to my peg and keeping it in the best possible condition, which in turn probably does catch me a few more fish and definitely saves me a few quid, which I'm always up for that. Right, last of all, I cannot go without mentioning my SLIK Elastic, because it has been the ultimate game changer. Out of all the products I could possibly have that Matrix produce, it is definitely the one that changed my fishing the most. So it was a bit of a rocky ride. When I first joined, Sean put me straight onto, you've got to use our SLIK and try our SLIK. You've got to have a go before you go onto the hollow elastics. So I said, all right, I'll give it a go. And it was really hard to understand. I mean, it's different to anything we've all ever used before, with it being the first hybridy type elastic on the market. And without doubt, for 3 or 4 months, it was the winter when I first had it, so it was very difficult to understand its ratings and what it did. Since then, I mean, since understanding how to use it properly and the way it works, more importantly, it's completely changed my fishing. I mean, it's been the sole reason why I've actually won matches in the past. I owe my golden reel win at Larford to SLIK Elastic, just because it made me so much more efficient, landed fish quicker, just because the way it works. It's such weird stuff compared to hollow elastics, in that it's got so much more durability. It lasts far longer than hollow elastics, as long as you look after it, keep it out that nasty sunlight. But the way it works as well. So I've spoke about this on many occasions, and it's the way it retracts. It'll stretch just as far as a hollow elastic would, pretty much. But when you pull on that puller bung at the end, it gathers it in so much quicker because, I don't know, some physicsy reason. And because of that, I can get the fish closer to me and pop them up far quicker than I was ever able to do when I was fishing hollow elastics that were far more, you were just easy to bottom out when you're pulling them at the wrong end. So SLIK, it just makes me more efficient. I mean, really simple to use. And another thing that it definitely did was reduce the amount of, or reduce the different elastics that I used. I used to carry a massive range of elastics back in the hollow elastic days. I probably carry 5 or 6 different ratings of elastic. Now I find I don't have to do that at all. I find in the winter, so I'm still on me reds and me greens, which is 8 to 10 and 10 to 12, which is suited for all my F1 fishing. Not that we've done a lot of fishing this winter, but all my F1 fishing and any dobbing for carp. Whereas in the summer now, next month, I'll literally take all these top kits out and I'll swap to the orange and the yellow, which are 12 to 14 and 14 to 16, and they cover 100% of my fishing. Literally, there's no situation, whether it be F1 fishing or carp fishing, that I can't use, well, obviously the orange for me, F1 fishing, the yellow for the carp, but it just makes my elastics really simple. It makes my life easier. I just whiz my top kits out and I'm fishing straight away instead of having to decide whether that hollow elastic's strong enough. So SLIK fixes that problem, just makes my fishing nice and easier and gets them fishing far quicker than I've ever done before.